and we'll take an email. Remember, we want all the countries of the world represented up here. This is John in the United Kingdom. Why do you work for the terrorist-run Press TV? They are a bleep terrorist news channel that supports terrorist groups such as Hamas and Hezbollah. You're trying to seal the votes of the bleep. Well, if you think I'm doing this in order to seal votes, you don't know anything about me. But it's obvious from the rest of your email that you don't know anything about anything. This is not a terrorist-run television station. This is a television station in full compliance with the international and the national broadcasting rules. It's Press TV. We're very proud of it. It tells the truth. And the funny thing is, you're watching it. Who knows? If you keep watching it, maybe you'll learn some sense. Let's stay on the comment wall and take an SMS this time from Rachel in London. The Israeli leaders and the army should be tried in The Hague. What they committed in Gaza is a war crime. We should all campaign to try these leaders for their crimes in The Hague. Well, I'm not expecting them to end up in The Hague, but the war crimes allegations that have been made now by the United Nations agencies will have to be properly investigated, and the perpetrators of those crimes will have to be brought to book somewhere. I don't expect Israel, which is not a signatory to the International Criminal Court, to allow them to go there, and I don't expect the United States to force them to do so. But Israel is in the dock of public opinion, and it's being found guilty on an enormous scale all over the world. They were war crimes. We saw them. We saw the phosphorus. We've got the evidence of the fragmentation bombs, the bombs which explode into hundreds of little bomblets, as they call them, which lacerate the flesh of everyone around. We've seen the amount of unexploded ordnance which will kill children playing in Gaza in the weeks and months to come. Indeed has already done so. And as I say, Israel shelled Gaza from the sea today, killing 2 old ladies, 2 children, and injuring an old man, and narrowly missing yet another United Nations installation. Let's take another telephone call. Yes, caller, where are you calling from? Yes, hello.
Hello?
Yes, hello, turn your television down. Please, go ahead.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead, you're on the air.
Oh, yes, sir. My name is Qadi Rahman.
And where are you calling from?
Yeah, I'm just speaking from Surrey. I would like to, first of all, I would like to slow to you, Mr. George.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay, and I'm just talking about the Gaza crisis.
Yes.
Is very bad, disaster. I just opened the television, and I could not see what's happened in Gaza. Right?
Yes.
And what can I say? It's very, very disaster. It's like a massacre about the Gaza.
Well, it is a massacre, and the person who put that most plainly was the Jewish Labour Member of Parliament, Gerald Kaufman, a very senior Member of Parliament who's been in the House a very long time. He said Israel was run by war criminals and mass murderers, and that they had to be brought to book. And I agree with Gerald Kaufman, and I think most people in the world today agree with Gerald Kaufman. There's much more of this coming up after the news here on Comment on Press TV. We're discussing the war crimes and the mass graves in Palestine. We're discussing Barack Obama and the closure of Guantanamo Bay. We're discussing Gordon Brown sending the Royal Navy to steam off the coast of Gaza. Why? To stop smuggling to the Palestinians. It's George Galloway, it's Comment, it's Press TV, and I'll be back after this. Welcome back to Comment with me, George Galloway, here on Press TV. Every week at this time, we're broadcasting to you from central London. It's the big conversation. It's the great debate. But it can only be a debate if you join in. That's why I need your SMS, your telephone calls and your emails to the addresses and numbers coming up on the screen throughout the show. Now, every week at this time, we show the best of the political cartoons that our editorial staff have chosen from this week. We've got 3 crackers from the English press for you coming up here on the comment wall. The first one is, I think, from The Guardian, the inimitable Steve Bell, the greatest cartoonist maybe of all time, working in the English language. The scene of Gaza burning with the white phosphorus and the other black smoke, the barbed wire surrounding what is effectively a concentration camp, and of course the wire there folded and bent and twisted into the Star of David, rather the way the State of Israel has bent and twisted the great and noble symbol of the Judaic religion. That's a point that was made by Gerald Kaufman in the House of Commons last Thursday, worth watching on YouTube. This one's from the Daily Telegraph. Yesterday, showing the euphoria of the swearing-in ceremony of Barack Hussein Obama as the 44th President of the United States and the first black President of the United States, followed by the morning after. Today, the President, as Barack Obama gets to work on an in-tray that's brimful of grim problems, most of them the result of policies of his predecessor over the last 8 years. Sticking with the Daily Telegraph, this shows the collapse, really, the sad decline of Britain's Prime Minister Gordon Brown. Hope, last hope, hopeless, and the hollow, death-like image of Gordon Brown seeming to be echoed in the opinion polls, with the Conservatives now 11 points clear of the government. Whenever Gordon Brown calls a general election, it's not likely that he's going to win it on current form. Let's go back to the telephone lines and take another telephone call. Yes, caller, where are you calling from? Hello.
Yeah, I'm calling from London.
You're welcome, sir.
Good evening. Yeah, my point is very straightforward. The question is, how come Israel can arm themselves to the teeth by the help of the American and deny the same sort of advantage, the same sort of self-defense to procure arms for the Palestinians? All the tunnels been bombed, and as you just mentioned, Gordon Brown sending some Royal Navy ship over there to stop arms smuggling. Why is it only one-sided? Why the Palestinians can't arm themselves? Why is it also biased?
Well, I think you make an unanswerable point, and I'm the only British political figure in parliamentary politics, at least, who will say this, and I say it unequivocally to the camera right now. Why shouldn't the Palestinian people have weapons? Why shouldn't the Palestinian people be able to defend themselves in even a rudimentary way against this neighbor, this behemoth, this Goliath, which continually invades and enslaves and illegally, violently occupies them? The Palestinian people have every right to have weapons. The scandal is that no one is giving them weapons. Gordon Brown's Royal Navy will not intercept any weapons coming in from the sea to Palestine, for there are no weapons coming in from the sea to Palestine. The only weapons the Palestinians have are those they took from the Palestine National Authority forces who had been given to them by the Western countries to try and get rid of the elected Hamas government. That and their own bodies and the rudimentary rockets, which are 99% militarily ineffective, which go up into the sky as a kind of cri de coeur, a cry from the heart, to try and draw the world's attention to the disgraceful, scandalous situation which they face. Now, let's take another telephone call. Yes, caller, where are you? Yes, hello.
Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Where are you calling from?
I'm Samih, I'm calling from Leicester. I just want to ask you a question. Israel says that it's a respective human rights state, but they're not allowing the Arabs to take part in the forthcoming elections. Is this what they call human rights? Is this what the West call human rights? Could you answer that for me, please?
Well, it's a very good point. They call themselves the only democracy in the region. It's a funny kind of democracy that illegally and violently occupies its neighbors for decades and destroys an entire country and people called Palestine.